looking back from like the previous game, like the moment before the second dragon, if I recall correctly, like Xianyu did really well to shut down Camille. Like EQ flash into ult and Camille instantly die, right? Even without Camille, they cannot team fight. Think about it. Like it's so hard for one team. Like it's too hard. Yeah.
It's a really good draft, honestly. It's a really good draft.
Yeah, to be honest, it's like I think that a Team Flash caught one team off guard really hard.
Oh, and there you have it. The Camille will be banned, but you know what? I feel like, oh my gosh, I feel like Team Flash should just take the advantage and just bring out the ASOL once again. I actually was surprised that one team didn't ban it out. Maybe Ellie could do that again. Seemed like a really great win condition for the side of Team Flash, but sticking with the Riven for one team and the Orianna. Okay.
I want to point something out really quickly here. Team Flash didn't have to ban Camille on red because one team had to ban it on blue. They weren't willing to take a Camille matchup yet again, and they're just saying this time, you know what, we're going to get rid of the champion completely. We're going to opt into any Riven matchup you want to take, and they banned away Renekton as well as Camille, so a lot of respect to the Shy, as well as they're giving over, you know, the next strongest. I think it's the next strongest top lane pick here in the Riven to Kid. Do you think there's any answers to this, actually, what the Jazz?
Yeah, there's not really a lot of answers to Riven. Actually, like the only good answer to Riven is Renekton, and they ban it away. So I think Riven is gonna have a good time this game.
Hopefully.
Yeah. Assuming like he don't play like something like weird, I think.
Well, you know what? We can't count that out just yet. I mean, I thought that we were set for a pretty, you know, standard matchup over here, but
Well, go Thresh.
Bringing out Thresh.
Lock it in now.
Oh, Thresh. Yes, indeed. What do you think of this pick, Jess?
This pick though, Thresh is a really high damage support. Like, I think it's one of the highest. Like his auto attack is like the box damage is really high. Yes, that's the one.
That's the counter.
That's the counter. Yes,
that's the answer.
Yeah, the one and only answer left. So there's no more like split pusher aside from Fiora.
But this is perfect, right? This is exactly what Team Flash want, I think. They want Shy to take the skill matchup.
Wow. Yeah. According to the draft, it's game one all over again. Like, one team is on the timer. They're playing peak off, right? They play with the vision, like the Vi ultimate, the Thresh hook, yeah, like, wow.
Really big timer here.
All Team Flash need to do is just all for Fiora.
Actually, I have a question for you here, Jess. Yeah, before we see that Akali lock.
One team can actually get that revenge, especially since they have the Thresh coming out and they have new champions coming out over here on their side. Let's find out. Over to game 2. Casters, you guys are up.
Beautiful, thank you Mika and the panel, and yes, it looks like we are really running things back here, Riku, with a very similar composition out of Team Flash, but a lot of the adaptations that we were craving from one team, they've got that engaged, they've got those most played champions in the Ahri and the Varus for the mid and bot, and that should give them hopefully now the tools to say we don't want this 15-minute stalemate.
Yeah, exactly. This is just enabling early skirmishes, especially the fact that Ninja 7 in the bottom lane, he can definitely be left alone into certain conditions, I suppose, because he has that big wave clear. But you're going to be up against Glory D here on this Rakan, and as well as this Orianna, which I think right now could be the biggest and deadliest combo when it comes to team fight, because you get that W in, you easily get that shockwave.
Yeah, and Darling had a fantastic game last time. Godlike was his KDA. I think he finished with at least double digits. Really popped off and left untouched. This time around, though, a little bit more bite to try and fight back here from Team Flash. An early invade. John Yoda Cloak is going to fall on down first blood here. Found by Ellie in the mid lane. He's taken out the jungler. They've got that kill, but it will be traded back as Vaya finds it with the Ignite.
Nicely done response coming from Team Flash. They were able to snag that first blood versus, you know, one team wanting to basically initiate that engage and invade in the jungle. But that's the thing that one team, or rather Team Flash, should watch out for, because whenever a Thresh has been picked, you would almost always assume solo kill.
Oh, okay. Well, that's just happened in the bot lane. And, you know, Varus is one of the best champions in the early portions, but this is that invade. It's Joyce that starts things off with the knock-up afterwards, Riku.
Yeah, really nice funneling of that big CC. And of course, big level 1, very strong for one team. And I mean, I expected this, right? Like, it's okay to leave Ninja 7 into his own devices in the bot lane because he has big wave clear, he has big range, he can safely farm from far away. That means CU can keep roaming.
Certainly can. And is already on the hunt, looking for that next kill. Gonna fall on down a little bit with some of the experience, but not gonna mind too much. As long as you got that hook, you're always a threat here on the map. The orb goes out, the hook connects. Beautiful riposte from Joyce. Not gonna fall victim to that one. And that just gives so much control to one team who now pick up double Scuttle Crab.
Really nice start so far for one team on this composition where they can be a little bit more active early. Big skirmish, big pick potential with the big charm. Level 5 will come, Spear Rush, Xianyo with Assault and Battery, and they can immediately burst someone down. And looking at the composition from Team Flash, everyone is pretty much very squishy. It's going to be very scary if you add in CU in the equation with the Death Sentence, as well as Ninja 7 with the Chain of Corruptions.
Joyce should have been spotted there by the vision that you can see just on the top right corner of your frame. So Kid's going to show respect and not fall victim to a topside gank to make that 2v1. CU is still on the hunt. He's falling further and further behind with this experience. He's giving a lot of that over to Ninja 7 to try and hit level 6 as quickly as possible. Get the individual lead to try and be that powerhouse in these early stages. Xianyo charging things up. Beautiful flash to follow. Buffers it. There comes the Shroud. A very defensive flash away, but four members are looking to really force the objective here. They find the kill. The lantern away. The turret shot soaked. But a beautiful answer back. Is it enough? I think it is. It's an Ignite mid laner. And the fadeaway kill. Answer back by Ellie.
Really nicely done rotation coming from Team Flash. May not be over.
Certainly might not be the case. There is the punishment. You can hit a flame, but it doesn't matter because we're running you down. There is the flash. But here comes Bayan out. Oh, just misses the charm. There was a lantern if he had overextended. But top lane this time around, a lot more exciting.
Yeah, it's the constant involvement of the rest of the squad coming from both teams. It is not a 1v1 anymore. As again, for Shy, he's going to be easily shut down by Xianyo here on this Vi with that lock-in homing target with Assault and Battery. And I don't think the Shroud is going to help you right there, as we saw with that really nicely done dive. Dives are definitely much easier if CU is involved because of that lantern. So as long as it's very clean, you can just, just cleanly get out.
Very early 4v1 onto the Akali, burning everything to try and disengage away, but it was not enough. And surprisingly enough, it is still Shy with a gold lead. So isn't going to be afraid to continue to be aggressive here, but does not have the summoners, whilst Kid has everything available. Now, I'm curious this time around what the focus will be. It wasn't a game where Dragons were the top of the tier list. We had 3 in that game, but Herald, seemingly once again, is where both teams want to be.
Yeah, for Team Flash, the focus is they have big 1-3-1 potential and as well as the big 4-man. Earth Herald, though, being started already.
Missing arrow goes out. Looking to try and shred these members down nice and low. Looking to try and follow things up. Chain of the Corruptions are all joined together. Oh, rooted in place. Screwy already popped the heal. He popped the quickness, but he can't engage. Now Joyce is low. He's trying to hit the smite for a heal, but he doesn't have it up in time. He's going to die. He committed the flash, and he's just going to fall on down. Bayer on his most played champion. 1 defeat across the full season. He doesn't want to be at defeat here today.
There we go. Really good start on their skirmish coming from one team here. And Team Flash, unfortunately, they needed the combo from Dialing. He's fine. He's fine for now. I mean, exactly. They needed Dialing to be involved. That's the reason why you've got Cataclysm and the Rakan here on Glory D.
Yeah.
Because you're playing around the big Orianna plays like what we saw in game number 1. And without Dialing present, this team comp is not a team comp.
I mean, just look at this. For me, the Chain of Corruption wins this fight because they all group together, and then Glory D can't answer back.
Yeah, he wanted to get the charms in, able to initiate, get the knockups, but exactly has been stopped by the beautiful Chain of Corruptions coming from Ninja 7 there. And it's these choke points that are going to be incredibly crucial that Team Flash has to be careful because, again, 4 melees. That means that is just a fiesta, a potential of big 4-man Chain of Corruptions just spreading throughout the whole team.
And that's really what excited me about this composition. The adaptations, they said, look, we know where our strong points were, but we fell victim to a comp that wanted to go in, but found it very hard to go in. So we're not going to try and enable the likes of a Corki for scaling, where we can rely on the package to try and cut off these key pockets of the map. We're going for Varus, we're going for Ari. We're saying wherever we go, the fire will follow. And just like that, this game starts off with the first 6 minutes, pretty much like we saw in game 1, Riku, where one team run the map and claim everything it has to offer.
Yeah, that means one team can decide where to transition all that lead to. Do they get first blood tower? Because earlier in game number 1, Team Flash was able to gain control of top side. That means they were able to trade map control. They were able to trade down turrets versus the first objective. So now this is a different point where one team is able to fight with their early game. You mentioned this, Skimmy, Xianyo, Assault and Battery. You can follow through, rather, with a Chain of Corruptions, or a Flay, or a Death Sentence, like right now, possibly. Flash now gonna get burned. But yeah, there's just so many chain CCs involved. There's so many Cs here for one team.
There's a lot, and I don't think it's going to stop anytime soon, because they are really going to try and put a stop on Shy's impact this game, this time around. He's already burnt that Shroud. Oh, a beautiful Death Sentence! Wow. And he can go invisible for a second, but it's just not going to be enough. The punch through there from Xianyo, guaranteeing the kill. The stopwatch afterwards, buffering in time. A beautiful repose, cancels out the charm. The mechanical answer from Team Flash is enough, but they have lost one in the process.
And one team can just keep rinse and repeating this. They always have to catch Team Flash incomplete as a squad, and that's why exactly their skirmish is incredibly strong. For Team Flash, again, they're banking on fighting around objectives, like the Mountain Drake, like the Baron later on. And it has been a struggle because so far one team isn't taking the bait.
On the hunt though, aren't they? Yep, they're still very keen for these kills, but they're taking those risks. You know, they are saying that if we invest time and resources to make this play, we're guaranteeing it. It's not a chance, it's not a percentage, it is that guarantee. And they run it time and time again now, with CU always keen to group up and sort of lead that line. And Ellie's saying, well, I'm not going to, you know, instigate or entertain that idea. I'm just going to continue to split push. I'm going to answer back. If you're getting a turret, if you're getting a kill, we're at least going to keep this gold lead close. And at 9 minutes in, it is. I mean, it's only 2k difference.
Yeah, I think it's a different scenario already because it was Team Flash who was able to get all of these map objectives, turret structures rather, and getting the lead.
This is the pain and punishment though that they can certainly deliver. Ellie burns the Flash, doesn't really go too far away.
Oh, knock up.
Thought on battery was nice, but now one kid seems to be the focus. Shy on his own, has to try and dart away. A beautiful charm there into Glory D, and Bayer won't miss those ones. Charging in aggressively, guarantees the kill. And they found one again, but they zoned multiple away, and with the Herald being summoned, that mid turret is soon to fall.
That was a beautiful fight. That could have been a beautiful fight for Team Flash because it was on paper good because everybody was pretty much complete. Your wombo combo is going to be there. It's going to be available. But the problem is one team is just ahead. They've managed to get kills for Baya. 401 now, by the way. So in a really huge lead already when it comes to bursting people down. And especially after Baya picks up the Rabadon's death cap, Team Flash is going to be in deep trouble. I don't think Glory D is going to be surviving one combo even once that time comes.
Yeah, and there it is. You said, you know, spot on there with the Rabadon's cap purchase. It has been locked in. These are mid-game champions spiking out of control. Oh, and the death sentence doesn't connect, but the charm does. Look at that! One cycling of the cooldowns, and Glory D's disappeared.
Imagine if Baya had Ignite. He already used his Ignite earlier in the previous encounter, so that would have been the death of Glory D. That would have been the death of the big Shockwave combo. And I feel like, versus a Jarvan for Flag and Drag, I feel like Glory D's knock-up is definitely more effective because of that big Wombo combo, and we've got bigger AoE knock-up. Now, it is going to be the dragon of the game. Mountain Drake, big shield, is going to be very important for Team Flash because you're up against a Varus, you're up against Ninja 7 with a big pokes.
Yeah, and you need to weather that storm because you get out poked and you're definitely not team fighting. We've yet to see that Shockwave engage really come on through. Plenty of champions they can look to try and couple that one as the delivery system. But they are finding it very hard. It's so beautifully executed draft here from one team, punishing the fact that you are so melee heavy. And there is another hook. The bot lane of one team, reminding them that it's not all about the Zari. But you've been zoned away, and second turret, or second dragon I should say, is theirs.
CU's presence across the map from the first minute of the game up until now has been very, very felt. And Team Flash, even Ninja 7, even the early phases of the game, did not need CU at all. Is able to even get that solo kill. So all around, across the all lanes of one team, they've been winning. And Shanyo even preparing for a potential dive here, possibly.
I mean, they've done things far crazier than that in this game already, been diving from the very get-go. So I wouldn't put it past him. He's just reminding, you can't hit the angle, you can't flank us. And that next turret will fall on down. Now 3 turrets to 1. Shy has been shut down. Isn't really able to answer back. Observer smurfing there, reminding us that these death sentences will continue to come out thick and fast. But bit by bit, one team are fully running this map, and that gold lead is starting to balloon.
Exactly. They've managed to get all structures down. They're even choking resources away from one team, or rather from Team Flash, as they're now been invading the jungle. And I really like the approach from one team. They know that they're very incredibly strong when it comes to the skirmishes. The pick potential as well is there. And Team Flash really needs to be together, needs to be that big four-man. And they're going to be relying on Shy to be able to set up the flanks later on to target squishy targets like Baya and Ninja 7. But it has been a huge issue because so far it has been that front-to-back approach, and Team Flash is not prepared for it just yet. And I feel like the winning condition for Team Flash is always going to be about dialing, landing these incredible, big, game-changing shockwaves. But the biggest question is, will that be there? Because so far, they haven't found the opportunity just yet.
Yeah, 100%, I agree. They're just finding it very hard to, first of all, find the opportunity, but also find the angle. And as they're losing more and more of this map, their vision has to be dropped that much deeper to try and protect themselves, to allow them to start walking up to make these plays, be it to contest objectives like the Baron, assert control of the side lanes. I mean, I'm paranoid of the fact that you're looking at this Ari, already an absolute menace with the poke. Look at Ninja's itemization. I mean, he's got the Cerudo's Grudge now completed. The Muramano's already there. One piercing arrow, that alone is just going to take you to 50. And now we might actually get to see an invitation as to what it exactly looks like. The box goes out nice and early, locking him in place. Couple that with the Train of Corruption, and there's just nowhere to move. 3 people found, and 3 people fall on down. No, Kid wants more. He wants more. Might actually just look for the 1v2 here, Riku. I wouldn't put it past him. He's flashing forward aggressively. Gets another! Looking for Shy now. Taking down everybody apart from his lane counterpart. The rest of his team, meanwhile, are saying, we'll take Baron for free. Don't mind if we do. A montage in the making, and one team answering back with the caliber of play that we expected.
Now you know you're far ahead when you're able to use a flash aggressively, see if you can land that 50-50 charm. And in the end, one team is able to get so much space, so much kills out of that. 503 already towards Baya. Even Kid is able to create that 1v2 scenario in where it's just so difficult. We saw the team fight, well, we saw the skirmish earlier where 4 melee champions clumped up together, plus Varus at the opposite side of the wall, equals Team Flash's death. That is the equation that we just saw. And that's what we're going to see again in the replay. It is just so perfect. The box on this choke point is just so perfect, and Team Flash will have no answer to that.
Well, we're running it back from a highlight back to live, and it's the same old story. One team really playing with their food here, having a lot of fun with this game. And from right to left they move, and that's really what we're talking about. 3-item power spike for a poking Varus. The piercing arrow guarantees it. A second to follow, but Kid will deny it. They've got the Baron, they've got 4 turrets, and now with synced up waves through top and bot, they can look to get 2 inhibs here.
Yeah, this is going to be an easy siege. There's just so many death timers on towards Team Flash. They can even end the game.
Yeah, they might as well, as they will start putting pressure in towards the Nexus. A dominating performance here through games 1 to 2. 16 kills to 5, but it's all about one team. They tie up the series for this best of 2, 1-1.
Yeah, one team making a statement there is able to get control of the early games, able to shut down Shy's lane as well. And, of course, getting Baya ahead of the curve. His presence was just everywhere.
Volatility, get rid of picks like that Camille, make it a little bit more stable. And I think that Team Flash, they try too hard to flex things around. Sure, your picks are not bad in the context of like individually, but I feel like there are other ways you could have flexed this draft. Maybe not pick up the Akali, go for something else. Take the Fiora Camille skill matchup, make it volatile. Take the Jarvan in the jungle. The Fiora was too exploitable. You see it from level 1. Immediately, one team recognized we can come into your jungle, we can invade you, we can shut you down, and we can tempo the game from there. So I feel like Team Flash, it kind of got in their own heads a little bit here, trying to be fancy with the draft, and that ended up costing them pretty hard. But yeah, like what the Jets was raising some really great points about the early tempo and playmaking of one team, but I'll let him take those points.
Wow, they did really great this time. Like they drive the kick-off competition, right? Like the skirmish one, like Ari, like Paris and Fresh. Like Fresh roamed really well this game. Like the studio he done really well. Like shutting down Joyce and Shy. Like early on in the game.
Yeah, definitely. Like you don't even know, you don't even notice him.